one of the difficulties as an undergraduate student that I experienced was this mysterious world of the Jewish literature. You hear a little bit about it, but what is it? How do I deal with it? What's its relevance to Paul? And this book is designed to do that. It sets out a clear way in which we can see how the Jewish literature is relevant for making sense of Paul through a simple comparison. What's highlighted then is where Paul parallels, where he's distinct, where he's similar, what the great storyline of Paul's theology is as it compared with his Jewish contemporaries. I think it's what it offers to the reader, what's useful about it is the simplicity of it, that it presents to the undergraduate student in particular with great clarity how the Second Temple world works. So it's designed as a supplement to the commentary. As the student's working through Romans, the lecturer is giving lectures on Romans, and this word means this, and that word means that, and this sentence is saying this, and you've noticed in your footnotes that this text is being referenced from Sirach. Well, here's a great chapter on Sirach that's expanding on it, explaining what's happening in Sirach, and shows how this is relevant to parts of Romans or Jubilees or 1 Enoch or this other great literature from the Second Temple text. So it fits that mold that helps fill out the knowledge and the footnotes that the students encounter in the commentaries. And so the lecturer uses it to fill out that knowledge for the student in a way that gives them a context, in a way that can't always be done in a lecture in a clear way and can't be done in commentaries. I think pastors and churchgoers have a tendency to avoid the ancient world. We're a little nervous about it. We're a little scared of it. But what this book can do is actually open this up. Let me give you an analogy for this. I like reading historical novels. So recently I've been reading a historical novel that's set in the 1500s in Scotland. Now, I happen to have an idea of what's going on there living in Scotland. But what's I miss is a lot of the details of the story. Yeah, the story makes sense. I get the main characters. I can trace the plot. I can see how things are working. But there are times that I miss things. But what I found is when I go and read a Scottish history book, all of a sudden the little details that I missed begin to make sense to me. Why the person went a certain way makes sense. Well, that was the way the road went during that time period. Why they said the things that they did begins to make a little more sense to me. And what the reading Romans in context can do for the pastor is open up the ancient world of Paul's text. What we have to remember is that Christianity is a historical faith. God came into the world in Jesus at a particular time in a particular place. Paul wrote his letters in a particular place and in a particular time, and that wasn't our time. And so in order to help us make sense of the ancient world, we need to read about the ancient world. Sure, we can get the basic storyline of Scripture. We can plot God's work to bring salvation to humanity, to correct the faults of Adam and those kinds of things. We can get all that. But there's always those little details that are missing. And reading Romans in context can help the pastor to fill out those little details, to expand their own minds, to see how Paul was operating in the ancient world. Much like reading a history book can help us to make better sense of a historical novel.